Donna Drake.
And I'm Harlan Friedman.
And Harlan, where are we?
We are at the Tribeca Festival 2023 for the North America premiere of The Listener.
The Listener. It's a very serious film, so I know we like to joke around a lot, but this is a really important project, so stay tuned. With us now is Steve Buscemi. So I found out, I read that you grew up saying it one way, but then you went somewhere to Italy and they said it a different way. Is that a true story?
Well, in Sicily they say Buscemi.
Buscemi. It's very nice to see you again. In 1996-97, at the Long Island Film Foundation, we met. And yes, and it was your very first directorial debut. Now, is it Trees Lounge or is it Tress Lounge? Talking about the way things say.
Trees Lounge.
Trees.
Long Island.
It's Trees Lounge, you know. So, but congratulations, because that was your directorial debut, and here you are as the director of this film. What are your thoughts on this particular project?
Well, it's a very special film. The screenplay written by Alessandro Caman. What it deals with, mental health issues, and the people who provide services in the mental health community. Tessa Thompson plays an at-home warm line worker. So she's talking to people all night long who are in various forms of distress.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm really excited and thrilled to be here.
Now, The Listener, when you got that green lighted and you started working with Steve Buscemi, what was the very first step you took to make this a reality?
Well, the first step was handing it to my producing partner, Steve Buscemi, and then him loving it and understanding why it was such an important film, and that it was a film that was attainable during a pandemic. And the second step was handing it to Tessa Thompson. And we only hoped, and then she fell in love with it, and they spoke, and we waited until she was available.
Now, that was a good move on your part, right? Because she does a lot of things. She did Creed, and she actually wrote and sang some of the songs. Did you know that also? I guess you know her very well, so you probably know everything. You probably know what she has for breakfast, Ren, right?
I don't know what she's had for breakfast. But she is a remarkable, we did this during a hiatus in her shooting of Westworld. So we shot the film in 6 days.
Wow, that's incredible.
Tribeca is always pushing the envelope out of any organization I've ever seen as far as inclusion and making sure everybody's represented. How special is it to be part of the festival this year with over 70% of the films directed or produced by women?
Well, I mean, that feels really good.
Yeah.
And I'm a native New Yorker. I was born and raised on this island. Steve Buscemi, my producing partner, is also a native New Yorker. I mean, he's Brooklyn and Long Island, but he's a New Yorker. And we made a film that stars a woman of color, who is doing a job that is incredibly hard and thankless and unappreciated. Our pretty much, I would say, 70% of our crew was women. All the heads of department were women, and that Tribeca has jumped in and answered that call to put women producers, directors, writers, filmmakers in the lead is spectacular.
It seems like mental health, more than ever, I just think is like there's a crisis going on, right? And then that mental health crisis causes a drug crisis, and so forth and so on. And people are spiraling, and they really are needing that connection, that human touch, if you will.
Yeah, look, one of the things that resonated me about this film is that it touches upon so many people who are struggling. We all know people, if not ourselves, who are going through either depression or a crisis, or a loved one is sick, or addiction, whether it be themselves or the family member or friend. And I think, change isn't going to happen unless we're aware of it, the magnitude of the issue, and that we talk about it, and that we try and help each other.
And The Listener, such a wonderful, poignant title. Harlan, we were talking about that earlier today. It seems like this writing duo, they have things that, like The Messenger. It's like it's the something. But I like The Listener, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about The Listener. Tell us about your experience with that.
Well, Steve Buscemi is an amazing person to work with. I mean, every time I was working with him, he was on. Even though he was directing, he was also acting with us. So I learned a lot from him, just watching him participate in trying to give us direction, but also performing for us every scene, which was wild. You don't see that a lot, and he's definitely an actor's director, you know.
What is your role in this particular film? Are you caller number
you're
7?
Gonna have to see. You're
Oh,
gonna
come
have
on.
to
Are
see.
you caller number 7? Okay.
I'm a dark caller. I'll tell you that.
okay.
I'm not the happy guy calling. I'll tell you that much. But I wanted to be directed by Steve. He's been so good to me, and to be directed by him was absolutely amazing. I feel very lucky.
Thinking about the quintessential New York actor, I mean, it's Buscemi.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he's just like, he was a fireman, man. Like, you can't beat that.
Right?
You can't do better than him. He's a real one.
Unbelievable.
He's like the Jon Stewart of actors.
No doubt.
Like,
no doubt.
he reps it in that way.
Now, Steve, I was wondering, this movie really is about saving lives via phone. Is there any correlation between your former career as a fireman? Did you use any of those experiences when putting your vision for the film together?
Well, actually, I mean, so since this is about mental health,
Yeah.
one of the things that has, happened since 9/11 is that firefighters and first responders are now admitting
Yeah.
that they need help,
Yeah.
and they're willing to talk about it.
Big tough guys.
Yeah. Before that, it was always, you don't talk about it, you keep it in because whatever, they saw it maybe as a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of weakness to say that you're in trouble. It's a sign of strength that you could admit that and be vulnerable and seek help.
Mental health is such a big issue right now, especially after the last few years. How do you feel about this film? Like, or is this film going to open up people's minds and help them hopefully get the help that people need?
Well, I've heard from a very special person called Dr. Barbara Van Dalen, who worked on the film. I don't know, I haven't seen the film, but she said that the film will really bring attention to what it's like for people who work in the first response. I worked with Dr. Barbara Van Dalen on my show A Million Little Things that deals with mental health, and it's a subject that I'm passionate about, that I think we should all be passionate about, because we all have mental health, and there are so many things that we can do for each other and for ourselves, for our well-being. I'm a big Steve Buscemi fan, so I'm very excited to see this film.
I met, actually, Buscemi, me and him met through Apatow on King Staten Island. And he's been...
That was a great film, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, really, really great.
And he's just been nothing but a supporter of mine and really amazing to work with and just like a buddy of me and the guys. And he's put me in awesome positions and to be here. And this movie's really cool and I think important because I think we're all back outside after COVID and not remembering really what happened. And I think this movie did that.
Obviously, the career, Dogs, Fargo, everything Sandler, everything. For me, The Sopranos was such a special moment. Pine Barrens, all-time greatest episode. With the 25th anniversary of the beginning of The Sopranos coming up, is there any special memory that you look back at those days with?
Well, just my very first day on set when I was directing the Pine Barrens. Being, on set with James Gandolfini and just feeling like, oh my God, it was hard for me to separate him from the character because he was so good at it. But he was the sweetest guy, but it didn't matter. He could say something sweet to you and I'd still get like, what did he mean by that? Is he being sarcastic? I loved it. I just loved the cast, David Chase, Terry Winter, who wrote that episode, Tim Van Patten, who was a director, a major director on The Sopranos, and that led to Boardwalk Empire.
Yep.
I just love it.
You just talk about your past for just 1 second, a film you did, King of Staten Island.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, me and the guys were watching that film. Did you guys just have fun the whole time?
I mean, that's the environment Judd likes to set up on his sets, so we just had the most fun writing, and hopefully we can get back to that soon, and the studios can pay writers. But I was very lucky to be a part of that, and Judd brought me on as an actor. I ended up leaving as a co-producer, and I just got to go through a whole entire summer of boot camp of Judd Apatow, so it was really cool.
And can we do like a reenactment of that poster? I mean, like Staten Island, like
Which
the King of Staten
one?
Island. I don't know, that one. This one right here.
Was it? Oh, no.
Yeah, you mind taking your shirt off? Yeah.
No.
Okay, I asked and it was
summertime,
answered.
right?
I asked and it was answered. At least I asked, right?
But Donna, ask him something intelligent about the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do. He's like the comedy relief. Speaking of comedy, I actually did do stand-up.
Nice.
So I did. I went to Comedy University. So now where did you study, or did you just like go for it?
So when I was young, I went to Frank Sinatra School of the Arts in New York City, and from there I ended up doing stand-up when I was 19. So I did stand-up for a long time. First person that like really took interest in me was Larry Wilmore. Ended up on the Nightly Show with him, and then it's just been rolling since.
Thank you for all the work. I know we've got the listener, the North American premiere coming up, so maybe afterwards, maybe we mix up a little relish and ketchup, and we'll level a notch.
Steve,
It's good.
it was great. It was great to see you again.
We are here on the red carpet for the North America premiere of The Listener, and we have a very special guest with us. I want to do this the right way. Je m'appelle Harlan.
Salut Harlan, je m'appelle Stéphanie.
We have one of the...
Oh,
right. Comment allez-vous?
très bien, très bien. Il fait
C'est
beau.
comme ça.
Ouais.
Okay. Anyway,
You know more than I know. That's pretty good.
8 years of French.
But you said, hey,
I didn't know how to like order a hard-boiled egg.
There you go. There you go.
But the fact that you got the Luger drop,
I mean, I'm very lucky. I am very lucky to get what I get. So, no, Peter Luger's is the best. You got to represent it, especially at the Tribeca Film Festival, right? Is there any other place?
right? I gotta be honest, I had my Emilio Blotto's hat on the last few days, but you got that honest living drip right there. Is that Bang Bang?
I want to know you.
Who? What?
Did you get that at Bang Bang?
No, I didn't. Where's Bang Bang?
I'm down on Broome Street.
No, I'm
Okay.
not from New York, man. I'm from LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got
Rockaway?
this actually in East LA. Not East LA, Echo Park, a place called. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right on,
Yeah.
right on. When you're in from LA, I know when my friends are from in LA, are they just showing you off all the new spots to go? Like, no, I got this Italian place. No, you got to come to this spot.
That's what it's all about, man.
Right.
I gotta come here with these guys because I know nothing about New York. Without them, I'll be lost, man. I'll be like a guy with a backpack on.
Right on.
That's it.
What's the first spot they take you to when you get to New York?
Oh man, I go to his house to get
Oh, wait.
to go to sleep, get some rest, you know. And then where? And then we just travel the city, huh? Yeah.
Come in the camera.
look at that.
So,
Yeah.
I saw the three of you coming. I'm like, what is this? You got your own like podcast coming on? And do they also act? Do you think
They
about
do. Yeah, these are actors right
a
here.
future
writers.
projects? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. We're waiting.
What's coming up next with the three?
Well, Bobby and I already did a short film together a couple years ago. It was an action thriller, 7 minutes. It won a couple awards. And then Bobby did his own thing.
Yes, I have a short film right now at Cannes. Well, it was at
We
Cannes.
weren't ready for
Yeah,
this.
so I write as well too.
And Bobby's such a great human being. My first feature movie, he got me because he couldn't do something, and he recommended me. So
And that's how the business works, right?
I guess. I don't even see it as a business. I mean, we're very close friends, and we just want to create art. And it's such an amazing thing right now to see Bobby right here in Tribeca. He was here last year also for Jack Garfine's documentary.
true.
Our acting teacher who passed, legendary guy. And this year, let's see what happens next year. I'm proud as a friend.
Nice to meet you both.